Malacanang says the dip in President Rodrigo Duterte's satisfaction and trust ratings is expected because people start measuring their expectations usually after the honeymoon period. A new social weather station survey showed an 18-point decline in Duterte's net satisfaction rating. Duterte's net trust rating also slid by 15 points. But presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says the decline at this time is normal for any administration. Abella says, quote, "This is traditionally happening after a year or a year and a half, and the love is still there." He adds the people are waiting for Duterte to deliver the full spectrum of public services that was promised during the 2016 campaign period. Abella says people in general are still satisfied with Duterte. The armed forces and the Philippine National Police say the country has become a breeding ground for terrorists. The breeding ground for terrorists tag came from Russell Salik, a doctor from Marawi City who was allegedly part of a thwarted plot targeting New York subway in Times Square. In an electronic exchange acquired by United States security agents, Salik described terror laws in the Philippines as not strict in comparison to other countries. AFP Chief Eduardo Año and PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa say it's because the country enjoys too much democratic space. Año says, quote, "As you know, the country enjoys so much democratic space that is being exploited by terror groups and also criminal groups. The two point to inadequate security legislation in the country of 100 million people. Año says the Human Security Act lacks certain provisions, which is why the military is pushing for the Internal Security Act. The AFP chief did not elaborate on these provisions. De La Rosa raises the proposed national identification card system, which to him would be very crucial in tracking all Filipinos. But De La Rosa admits passing the bill into law is an uphill battle. President Rodrigo Duterte fires two top officers of the Philippine National Police he earlier named as narco-generals. The two are former Quezon City Police Chief Edgardo Tino and former Metro Manila Police Chief Joel Pagdilao. Tino and Pagdilao are the highest-ranking policemen sacked for their supposed links to the drug trade. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says, quote, "The decision, signed by the Executive Secretary last Thursday, has found them administratively liable for serious neglect of duty and serious irregularity in the performance of their duty and have been dismissed." Abella says Tino and Pagdilao had a hand in the proliferation of drugs in their areas of responsibility because of neglect in performing their duties. Surigao del Sur Representative Johnny Pimentel says the House panel investigating the alleged misuse of Ilocos Norte tobacco funds might recommend plunder charges against Ilocos Norte Governor Imee Marcos. Pimentel says the move may happen because the panel is uncovering more anomalous transactions by Marcos and other Ilocos Norte officials. Marcos and other Ilocos Norte officials earlier insisted there was nothing anomalous in their practices. During a hearing on October 9, heritage expert Eric Zerudo said he worked for the development of the Poway Museum, thinking it was a private project of the Marcos family and not of the government. Pimentel says, quote, "All the transactions bear the signature of Governor Imee Marcos. All the transactions, the contract, the vouchers, and the memorandum of agreement bear the signature of Imee Marcos." The Human Rights Watch says the Philippine government's refusal to acknowledge the existence of extrajudicial killings under President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs is absurd. HRW Geneva Director John Fisher says the Duterte administration cannot just say that extrajudicial killings do not exist by limiting the definition. The Philippine government's data shows at least 3,850 people were killed in police operations, while at least 2,290 others were killed mostly by vigilantes. But despite these huge numbers, the Philippine National Police said there has been officially no case of extrajudicial killing under the Duterte administration. In identifying extrajudicial killings, the PNP used the definition stated under Administrative Order 35 issued by the Aquino administration. Extrajudicial killings are defined in the order as committed by state and non-state forces to silence through violence and intimidation, legitimate dissent and opposition, raised by members of the civil society, cause-oriented groups, political movements, peoples and non-governmental organizations, and by ordinary citizens. But Fisher says the Philippines should follow the international definition as it is a signatory to various human rights treaties. He says an extrajudicial killing refers to the killing of a person by government authorities without sanction of judicial proceeding or legal process.
It's very, very clear that when somebody is killed in the context of police operations, there is no judicial process, there is no legal process, there aren't arrests, there aren't charges. It's just a killing which is taking place outside of the legal process.